Greetings fellow viewers and welcome back to Final Fantasy Record Keeper. New challenge event is upon us and we have got an FF12 event, Heir of the Dynast-King. Let's hop into it and see what we can get. So we got Lady Ash returns and recruit Larsa and break level cap 2. So for the story, Sheila Benargin Dalmasca, Princess of Dalmasca, a kingdom which fell to the Arcadian Empire 2 years ago, though many thought she took her own life in sorrow over the loss of her husband Ralsa and father Raminus. In truth, she had gone underground to escape the Empire's grasp. Organising a resistance in Rabanasta, she sought to strike back against the Empire. But the fight proved to be more challenging than she had bargained for, and Larsa Ferinus Solidor, the fourth son of the Emperor Gramis, and second in line to the Arcadian throne. Though possessed of political and military skill far beyond his years, Larsa isn't above enjoying a good time with those closer in age, like Van and Pinello. Wanting peace for his people, Larsa seeks to right the Empire's wrongs, but this puts him at odds with his ambitious older brother. So, the prologue. Van, a street kid living in the royal city of Rabanasta, hatched a plan to sneak into the palace treasury and steal back the treasures of Rabanasta from the occupying imperial forces. However, his break-in coincided with an attack on the palace by the resistance. Van escaped the battle along with two sky pirates, Balthier and Fran, who had also infiltrated the palace. Together the three fled through the Garum Scythe waterway, where they encountered a young woman from the resistance fighting a squad of Imperials. Though she introduced herself as Amalia, the woman who was none other than Ash, the rightful heir to the throne of Dalmasca. Ash's party arrived at the ancient city of Guravegan, I guess that's how you say it, in search of a piece of the Netherite, legendary stones which with the power to topple empires. There Ash was granted an audience with the godlike Akuria, who instructed her to cut her own piece of Netherite from the Suncrest and use its power to overcome the manufactured Netherite of the Empire. The Akuria wished to regain control of the course of history, and Ash was their chosen emissary. So we've got Ash and Larsa there, I'd imagine. This is something that I have to do for myself and all those who have fallen. I shall see that you're kept from harm. So we've got record spheres unlocked for Ash, Fran and Larsa. Remember, they do have to be above level 65 in order to use them. And we can recruit Final Fantasy 2 heroes, Larsa, Ash, Pinello and Fran, and get necessary crystals to use in the annex. And we get memory crystal 2s for Larsa, Ash and Pinello, and normal memory crystals for Larsa, Ash, Pinello and Fran. Get a 5-star ability for completing the +++ dungeon, Chain Thun Dagger. 5-star black magic ability that deals 2 lightning attacks to one target. Almost completing the chain black magic's abilities here, so let's hop into the event. So it's weird that we can recruit Larsa. So first up we got the Naubina dungeons. I mean, going with an FF12 party. Stick with that. As always, we're gonna blast through these events. Just stick it on auto, as they are relatively easy. Not really leveled up my FF12 party here. Keep saying FF2 because we've got an FF2 event going on at the moment. So they're fairly low level, but I can confidently say we're gonna blast through these easy. Yeah, look at that, no problem. So we've got Van, Bash, Fran, Ash and Pinello. Ash is our black mage, Pinello's our white mage, Van's our physical support, Bash is our physical attack, and so is Fran, I suppose. So, I mean, yeah, it's a bit weird we can recruit Larsa. Larsa was, even though he did join you in FF12, he was never really a permanent party member. I think they would allow us to recruit Vayne next. Well, I suppose we can recruit villains from other Final Fantasy series, so why not? Then again, in Dissidia they chose to display the villain for FF12 as Cabranth. Weak choice. So let's talk about FF12. Well, FF12 was obviously released for the PS2. Was the third and final game for that era of PlayStation. So you had FF7, 8 and 9 for the PlayStation 1. FF10, 10-2. I'm not counting 11 as a single player game since it was online. And then FF12, and obviously the FF13 series came out for the PS3. So that counted as 3 games in its own right. So FF12 was going back to the old like medieval style airships type fantasy setting. So who's our boss here? Oh, it's against 3. Forget what these were called. Were they Mumbas or something like that? But yeah, FF12 was set sort of like medieval era. The bit of futuristic stuff put in there. It was set in the land of Ivalice, which has been around a few FF games, including FF Tactics, even Vagrant Story, which was not part of the Final Fantasy series, and FF12. So for our rewards for the first dungeon we get next part unlocked 1000 Gil Battle Bamboo times 1, Lesser Growth Egg times 40, I believe that was Pinello, was it? And Mithril. Was it Pinello? Yeah, it was Pinello. So on to the Dreadnought Leviathan. So, going back to the story, it was about this empire who wanted complete control over everything. Basic Final Fantasy style. Going back to the 6-bit eras, sorry, the 8-bit and 16-bit eras style of storytelling. And you had these 6 guys who wanted to stop the Empire, basically. You had Van, Pinello, Fran, Bash, Balthier, and of course Ash. So they went around the world trying to find these all-powerful items to, like, magicite, guess you could call it, or netherite, what we're going for in this event dungeon, in order to defeat the Empire. And also along the way you collected Espers, which was the game's summons, and these summons you could tie them to a certain party member, and they could summon them in battle and use their powers. So the battle system was first time they really experimented with a real-time battle system. It wasn't your usual turn-based, although you still had an ATB gauge. You could move around in combat and didn't go into like a generic battle screen. Everything was in the world. You encountered the enemies in the world, and I like the battle system. It was pretty good. So you still had the ATB gauge, your selected commands, those commands would charge up and your characters would execute them. So the class system was a bit different. You didn't have regular jobs, you had what was known as a license board, and basically any character could unlock everything from the license board. So if you did enough grinding, all your characters could use exactly the same thing, although generically you wanted them to use different things. So our boss here is some judges. Well, we got Judge Geese and some Imperial soldiers. Combat text there, but not reading it because, well, there goes the judge. As it goes too fast. Oh, come on. I suppose he has got protect on. So I love the background. When you look at that, you got sky in the background moving. A little Imperial landing there. So for our rewards for this section, we get not those. The next part unlocked. 1000 gil heavy coat ×1, lightning orb ×5, Fran. She gets converted since we already have her, and a mithril. So let's move on to the next one, Tomb of Wraithwall. Kind of hoping this event would be against all the espers. It would be really cool if they did something like that. But I would imagine this one is, oh no, it's part 1. Oh no, wait, this is the part 1. Tomb of Wraithwall was where you fought Belias the Gigas, which was, so unlike other Final Fantasies, this one had different summons. You didn't have your general Ifrit, Shiva, Ramu, Bahamut. In fact, they were all named into airships. You had like the Dreadnought Leviathan, which we were just on, the Light Cruiser Shiva, and ultimately at the end you went on the massive ship, the Bahamut. I know, a bit of spoilers there, but I won't spoil the last boss, as the last boss is pretty cool. But yeah, you didn't have your generic normal summons. Instead we had espers, which was also they had espers in FF6, but these were different ones. Obviously you had like Belias the Gigas, which was the fire elemental, Matthias, which was ice, and then Adra Malech, which was lightning, Hamar, which was earth, and then two big ones you had more. You had, I think you could get Future Lane, which is like status, and you could also get like Ultima, who was a penultimate one. You got in a side quest, and also Zodiac, which was a big badass one. He wasn't non-elemental actually. He was dark elemental, which we just saw there, which was nice timing. Yeah, kind of weird for an ultimate Esper to just be a dark elemental. So also in FF, oh wait, is our boss? Oh no, it's a demon wall. It's the demon wall. He's gonna get closer every time you attack. Oh no, he silences our white mage. but he's out of there. So we move on to the next section. Take a look at our rewards. For our rewards, we get the next part unlocked. 2000 gil battle bamboo times 1 growth egg times 20 ash, but we already have her, so she gets converted, and a mithril. And there we go, we're on to... Oh, we don't fight Belias? Oh, that's a shame. Would have liked to have fought Belias in the Tomb of Wraithwall. We'll go with finishing touch. Wow, there's a level 95 shout there. So, as I was talking about the license board, basically any character could equip anything, so long as you grind it out a lot. And use license points to unlock this stuff. You could, like, different types of light armor, different types of heavy armor, different spells you could use, black magic, white magic, red, no, not red magic. They introduced green magic, which was like status effects, like blind, silence, stuff like that. Dark magic. You also had like generic abilities like charge, like stat reduction, stuff like that. And you could also unlock the espers on the board as well, but you'd have to defeat the espers first before you could unlock them. And instead of limit breaks, you also had what was called quickenings, which you could unlock on the license board as well. So your characters had like miss gauges in your MP bar, which, depending on the level of quickening you had, went from level 1 to level 3, depending on how many miss gauges you could use to unleash an almighty powerful attack. And they could be used at any time so long as you had the MP for it, which wasn't called magic points in this game, it was called mist points, because everything was about the mist. Because Fran would go berserk whenever she was near dense mist, so mist was basically magic in the game. The other system they had was what was called the gambit system. So basically in combat you only actually controlled one character at a time. You could switch between them. You only had 3 party members out at once. You only controlled one character, but you could switch. And with the other characters you could set gambits, which is sort of like tactics. So say character goes below 80% HP, that, and another character could set the gambit to something like that and allow them to use cure on that target to heal them back up. So pretty cool. So our boss here is Volsay. Struggle is futile, you know where it leads. I do know all too well. We're gonna kill these guys first. That wasn't a try attack. No, don't kill Bash. Looks like we're gonna have to use our Roman warrior here. Wow, he's attacking twice per turn here. Finishing touch is awesome, although I wish they did use Omni Slash instead. Boom, 9999 damage. What we want to see. All I have done, I ever thought of Dynast-King first. Look on what my haste has wrought. Did I act too quick or was I too late to take up my charge? And we get Larza. Looks like he's healing magic. Blink strike, deal physical damage to one target and enable the user to avoid one physical attack. Oh, that's interesting. It gives a physical blink for basic soul break. That's pretty nice. Unusual basic soul break to have there. And for our rewards, we get next part unlocked: 2000 gil heavy coat ×1, lightning orb ×5, Larsa, and Nithlo. So onto the final section. The Golmo jungle. It's interesting to leave it there. See if we can't use some interesting roaming warrior. Refresh it, see if we get anything new. Do it one more time, if not. Oh, we got Rune Independent there. Arc Blast? Sure, why not? Let's go with a level 99 Arc Blast. So, the Golmo Jungle, part 1. I believe this was where Fran's people were from. So there's no like generic battle music. Everything was all one area music. You still had the boss music, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll hear that in this one. Lots of single enemies here again, like the FF9 event we just had. No zombies though to instantly kill us, which is nice. So let's move on to the next section. Oh, what that boss is up there. More liches. Ah, you got killed by a rod. Another lich. Using dark magic. So I hope they have some good plus battles lined up for us. We have Gargoyle. I hope the plus battles against some of the Espers. Espers are pretty cool bosses. I hope they have events sometimes where it's just versus the summons of the game. Oh, weird enemies here. That means we'll get to use Arc Blast twice. Twice, as it only hits one enemy. So first up we've got Gargoyle. Then a Ragor, like a totem head. Is it the boss battle music? No. Okay, we'll just kill off a Trent. Have Van use Arc Blast himself. Oh no, wait, it is the boss battle. Yeah, it is the boss battle music. We'll use Ringer. Oh wait, yep. I forgot Arc Blast was instant. Although I don't recall Arc Blast being in one of Van's quickening attacks. Oh, he dies. Like a Tiamat. And that's it for the normal mode of our Final Fantasy 12 playthrough in Final Fantasy Record Keeper. The new challenge event for our rewards, we get Elite Dungeon unlocked, 3000 gil, White Oak times 10, Black Oak times 10, Mytho times 1, and the Soul of the Hero times 1. Always nice to have those Soul of the Heroes so you can recruit other party members. I also want to mention quick that there is a World of Final Fantasy login bonus going on at the moment, as that game has just been released on PS4, and we get some pretty cool items from that login bonus. So it looks like we're heading into the Elite Dungeon next. No part 2s for this one, just an Elite Dungeon. So that is going to do it for our playthrough of the normal mode of the Heir of the Dynast-King, the new Final Fantasy 12 challenge event in Final Fantasy Record Keeper. Remember, if you like this video, to like and comment on the video and about the video if you want, and then I would ask you to check out the channel and subscribe if you wish. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.